BoruSara is the most popular couple of the next generation.
No, I'd hardly say that's what we are.
On the day of the academy entrance ceremony, Sarada is annoyed that Boruto is late for the ceremony and more so when he finally shows up, but ends up smashing Naruto's face stone with a train. Boruto ends up being suspended for 2 weeks and returns to the academy.
Alright, this is gonna be the place where I make my mark on the world.
Soon after, Chocho mentions to Sarada how her and Boruto's parents have been friends since childhood, and Sarada must be close with Boruto because of that. Sarada rejects this and says she is only around Boruto so much because of their parents. She later watched Boruto's fight with Iwabi, and Chocho notes that Sarada looks concerned, but Sarada shrugs it off.
I thought you weren't interested in this. I'm not.
After a shuriken lesson, Boruto recklessly throws a demon wind shuriken he stole from Iwabe, and Sarada criticizes him.
Man, you're an idiot.
Boruto's friends note the close relationship between him and Sarada, but Boruto says they're not friends, but their parents are. Then Boruto and Sarada get into an argument over lunch and almost get into a physical confrontation before Shino diffuses the situation. He offers to set up a boys versus girls competition to let all his students settle their differences, with Boruto being the leader of the boys and Sarada of the girls. The boys almost win until Boruto accidentally pushes Chocho off the roof and saves her, leading the girls to win and everyone to reconcile, but Sarada promises to give Boruto a rain check. After leaving a night training session, Sarada bumps into Boruto and they discuss how the career of Boruto's favorite actor, Kagemasa, has been stalled. Boruto sees a shadow possess another person and chases after that person, with Sarada following him of concern. The person revealed to be Kagemasa attacks Boruto with shuriken. Sarada saves Boruto from being killed and uses a smoke bomb to hide. Boruto tells Sarada about his right eye's ability to see the shadow and asks her if she believes him. Sarada says he is not a liar, but she thinks he's an idiot.
Look, I don't know anything about any shadow, but I do know that you aren't a liar.
Thanks, Sarada.
But I still think that you're an idiot.
She also tells him that it is best to let the adults handle this, but Boruto says only he can see the shadow. And since no one believes his eye is the Byakugan, Boruto has to prove what it is. They come up with a strategy to take down Kagemasa. Afterwards, Sarada leaves as Boruto thanks her.
Sarada! So, about that shadow I mentioned earlier.
Listen, I still have to go and report to Sensei tonight. See ya, Dummy Masa II.
They boys go fishing at the same river Sarada is at with the gift. Realizing Boruto is nearby causes Sarada to fall in the water, and when they find and ask her what she's doing, she intimidates them by saying she was swimming.
It's hot, so I was taking a little swim. Got a problem with that?
Of course not.
While walking home, Sarada catches Boruto playing with his father and sends him a small greeting. However, upon doing so and noticing what Boruto is trying to do, Sarada helps Boruto extend his playtime with his father despite it being a clone. However, this is eventually stopped by Shikadai and his father's coming.
Hold on a minute! You want me to deliver that lunchbox for you? Huh?
Catching Boruto before he goes back into the village after finding out his father had already left, Sarada scurries over and offers to take the bento to Naruto. Despite Boruto finding no need for the delivery, Sarada continues to offer her request. Looking into each other's eyes, Boruto quickly tries to pull away, but is pulled in again by Sarada, who notes the importance of a bento, especially if it was made by a loved one. Finally, deciding to hand it over, Boruto watches Sarada as she begins to leave.
She is so weird.
At the academy, Boruto thanks Sarada for delivering the bento to his father, but she quickly refuses and thanks him instead, saying because of him she was able to reach her goal and also find her dream, which is to become Hokage.
So, I've decided to become Hokage.
Although shocked, Boruto brushes it off and comments that her dream is stupid. Over the next couple of days, Boruto is confused by the change in Sarada's behavior, but she retorts she is no longer interested in acting like a child, unlike Boruto, who tries to show off his shuriken skills but misses his target. Sarada teases him and he gets angry at her, and Mitsuki calls them a good couple, which they blush and deny.
I was just thinking that the two of you make a very nice duo.
Upon hearing from Konohamaru that Boruto's behavior stems from his desire to be known as himself rather than the Hokage's son, Sarada decides to beat the childishness out of Boruto. She finds out about his plan to deface the Hokage monument during the Cage Summit, and she tries to stop him, reminding him the good things of being Hokage. But Boruto dismisses her and challenges her to a fight. After a spar, Boruto praises her and asks to call it quits but proceeds to deface the monument. Sarada calls him a coward and cuts the rope, despite Boruto pleading for her to stop and attempts to use the sexy jutsu on her, much to her disgust and embarrassment. Mitsuki again comments they make a good duo.
I still think they make a very good duo.
School Trip Arc.
Sensei, I think Boruto Uzumaki would be an excellent choice for our trip leader. How about it?
Sarada nominates Boruto as the class leader for the field trip to Kirigakure. Boruto is angry because it was decided without his consent, but Sarada berates him for being lazy and orders him not to embarrass their village during the trip. When asked by Chocho and Boruto why she chose him, Sarada says Boruto tends to go off on his own, but as the class leader, he won't cause trouble. Boruto retorts it is a duty suited for a woman who wants to be Hokage, but Sarada laughs and runs away from Boruto, who chases her out of anger for not making her mad.
Well, thank you.
During sightseeing, Boruto buys 2 French squids and sees Sarada sitting alone and offers one to her. She tries to decline, but her stomach growls and she accepts. They sit together eating and looking at the beach when Kagura appears, and they talk how amazing Kirigakure has become.
What a force jutsu!
Sarada finds an unconscious Boruto after he's beaten by Shizuma and his gang, and she tends to his wants. When he wakes up, she asks him what has he done and what trouble has he gotten in. Tsurushi, a former follower of Shizuma's, explained what happened and of Shizuma's intentions with Kagura and igniting a war between Kirigakure and Konohagakure. Sarada wants to report this to the adults, but Boruto refuses because as the field trip leader, he wants to handle this himself. Sarada says it's hopeless to stop Boruto and she will be accompanying him so she can keep an eye on him.
I thought I told you that you were not to cause any trouble during our field trip. So now what are we supposed to do?
After taking down Shizuma and his gang, Sarada orders Boruto and Iwabe to hurry back to the hotel before roll call and proceeds to berate Boruto.
Less talking, more running!
Yes, Miss Sarada!
Take it easy, I'm hurting all over.
Run!
Not so fast!
Shut up, you!
Slow down!
After returning to Konoha, Boruto tries to lie to Iruka about his, Sarada's and Iwabe's actions, but Iruka reveals the Mizukage sent a letter condoning them. Shortly after, Sarada finds Boruto is looking for sweets to give to Himawari, but can't find a store that sells them. She offers to tell him a place that sells them on the condition he keeps a secret, which he agrees to.
I won't! I promise! I'd never do that!
Like I believe you. Well, whatever.
As graduation approaches, Boruto rushes to his classroom to hang out with his friends, but finds only Sarada, who tells him everyone is too busy. Boruto doesn't see what's so special about graduating, and Sarada comments how it must be easy for Boruto to have no worries. Boruto is confused by her words, but notes friendship will last forever after graduation, but Sarada says Boruto only thinks that.
そう思ってるのはあんただけかもね。
Mystified by this, Boruto arranges a campaign trip with his friends. Sakura notes Sarada's lack of excitement, and Sarada replies Boruto is being stupid again. However, she's curious of the longevity of friendship, as hers and Boruto's parents have remained friends since their time in the academy. While camping, Boruto goes fishing to catch a famous carp, and Sarada follows him, but they end up arguing. The carp catches on Boruto's line and starts pulling him in, but Sarada helps him hold the rod in place, telling him to sync his movement with hers. With the help of their friends, they successfully pull in the carp and eat it. Boruto is delighted to have tasted it, and Sarada is amused. Everyone then looks at the starry sky, and Sarada glances at Boruto with a smile.
こりゃ忘れようとしても忘れられない味だぜ。
A couple of weeks before graduation, Boruto and Sarada learn a classmate who wants to become a shinobi has decided to forego her dream to help her family. Boruto asks Sarada if she intends to intervene, but Sarada says it isn't her place to get involved in other people's affairs. Boruto retorts she will have to if she is going to become Hokage, and she will never surpass Naruto for this. Sarada, realizing this to be true, talks to her classmate and convinces her to change her mind. Everyone is surprised and glad Sarada did this, and Boruto overlooks on proudly.
Arigato.
Graduation Exams Arc. After graduation and waiting for Shino to assign everyone in teams, Sarada comments she doesn't want to be teammates with someone who runs away like Boruto, who is undeterred. Iwabe accidentally knocks Boruto towards Sarada, almost kissing her in the lips, but she blocks him with her foot. Shino announces Boruto, Sarada and Mitsuki as Team 3, but Sarada is unhappy and demands to speak to Naruto on changing teams. She justified this on the grounds she and Boruto are incompatible. Sarada and Boruto race towards the Hokage office with an appeal scroll, but Shikamaru tells them Naruto is at an undisclosed location. They race to the location after Mitsuki steals the information, but find they must fight Mirai to get to Naruto. Boruto and Sarada decide that Boruto will distract Mirai, while Sarada will use her Sharingan to find Mirai's weakness. However, they prove no match because Konohamaru explains Boruto is too concerned with Sarada's movements, while Sarada relies too much on the Sharingan. Sarada attacks with her Shuriken, while Boruto hides his shadow clones to defeat Mirai. Realizing they are compatible in combat, Sarada decides to remain teammates with Boruto on the condition he doesn't cause trouble. Boruto and Sarada ask Naruto to rename their team to Team 7 to honor their parents' team, which Naruto agrees. Genin Mission Arc. After being assigned to their first mission of warding off bandits in a nearby village, Sarada tells Boruto not to be reckless or else it will tarnish her record and she won't become Hokage. Boruto retorts about her attitude and they begin arguing. Mitsuki comments how well they get along, which shocks them.
You two really get along.
Are you kidding me?
While fighting against Ashimaru, Team 7 forms a combat strategy. Boruto and Mitsuki use their wind style to send Sarada towards Ashimaru to attack him. Sarada narrates that she may lack some abilities the boys have, but she has something better. With her Sharingan and superhuman strength, she brutally punches Ashimaru into the ground. Boruto comments Sarada is going to kill him one day, making Mitsuki remark how Boruto has his hands full with Sarada and Himawari.
She could kill me one day if she wanted to.
You've got your hands full with Himawari and Sarada.
On Boruto's birthday, Sarada is invited with Sakura, though she says she was forced to come. Boruto gets disappointed and angry when Naruto fails to show up due to work, and Sarada finds him sulking in his room. She tries to assure him Naruto was just too busy, but Boruto retorts he didn't think Naruto would come anyway. She wants him to try to understand Naruto's reasons, but Boruto doesn't care because in his opinion, work is more important than family to Naruto.
Boruto.
After a mission, Sarada berates Boruto for his recklessness, but he ignores her and insists he can do missions on his own. Mitsuki compliments Boruto for being the son and grandson of Hokage, and he might be next Hokage, to which Sarada angrily says she will be Hokage. In the movie version, Boruto and Sarada argue over whether the animal they're chasing is a bear or panda. When they report to Naruto after their mission, Boruto gets into an argument with Naruto and Sarada shows concern for Boruto. She later finds him hanging out with Shikadai and Inojin and scolds him for not taking his training seriously because the Chunin exams are coming up and he's keeping her from achieving her dream. When Boruto says he doesn't plan to enter in the exams and retorts that she better be alone for the rest of her life if she wants to be Hokage or else it will cause trouble to the people around her, Sarada realizes that Boruto is simply angry to his father for spending less time with him. To cheer him up, Sarada suggests that they enter in the exams to show off their skills and impress Naruto. Boruto thinks about it and finally agrees. He then asks her if her father, Sauske, will come watch her in the exams, and Sarada replies she doubts it. In the movie version, Boruto was learning the Rasengan from Konohamaru in order to become Sasuke's apprentice. Sarada watched him from afar during his training and expressed worry for him as he struggled with the training. Once Boruto finally mastered the Rasengan, Sarada was happy for him. When Sasuke pointed out how small his Rasengan was, and Boruto, in anger, threw it into a tree and fled, Sarada approached her father.
Do you always have to be so strict, Dad? You don't know Boruto that well, so I'll just tell you. He isn't usually like this at all. It's a miracle he even got this far. Get it? Huh?
She defended Boruto by saying Sasuke is being harsh because he doesn't know Boruto, that Boruto never learns anything, and it's a miracle he lasted as long as he did in his training. Sasuke said he wasn't disappointed in Boruto and decided to take him as his apprentice, much to Sarada's delight. In the first round of the Chunin exams, the participants had to answer a true or false question. Sarada asked Boruto what answer did he think her father would pick. Boruto suggested false, so Sarada picked true because she wants to take a different path than her father. Trusting Sarada, Boruto and Mitsuki agree with her. They are led to believe they answered incorrectly when they fall into a pit with a lake of ink at the bottom. Sarada uses a wire attached to her kunai to prevent Boruto from falling into the ink, and after noticing a second pit with ink, they deduced that those who land in the ink would be disqualified no matter what answer they picked. In the second round, Boruto and his team split up, with Boruto staying behind to guard their flag, and Sarada and Mitsuki going to steal other teams' flags. Sarada told Boruto she and Mitsuki were counting on Boruto because they needed to pass the round if they were going to impress Naruto, and Boruto replied he didn't need her to remind him. Sarada showed concern for Boruto when he fought another genin and wanted to go help him, but Mitsuki told her to go while he went to Boruto's aid. Boruto was overpowered by his opponents who were about to get his flag, but Boruto suddenly thinks of Sarada, implying he didn't want to lose, so she could fail at achieving her dream of being Hokage, and he instantly used his coat. After winning the round, Sarada scolded Boruto for not being happy as she should be, but then she looked closely at Boruto's face and noted his eyes were bluer than Naruto's, which caused him to blush and get embarrassed when Mitsuki came between them.
Your eyes. They're even bluer than the seventh's.
Really?
In the movie, Boruto fought against Chikadai in the third and final round. Sarada was impressed of Boruto's abilities, but she was saddened when Naruto revealed that Boruto used the code to cheat in the fight.
Boruto.
Whereas in the anime series, Boruto and Sarada made it to the final rounds against Shinki and decided to join forces. When Sarada was injured and disqualified, Boruto was enraged and resorted to cheating to win, which upon being exposed, left Sarada shocked and felt betrayed. When Momoshiki and Kinshiki appeared and attacked, Naruto and Sasuke rescued their children, and Boruto and Sarada asked each other if they were alright. Sarada became fearful at Momoshiki's monster strength and fell to her knees, and Boruto grew worried about her and promptly used a shadow clone to protect her despite his own fear. After Naruto was captured by the enemies and Boruto fell unconscious and woke up in the hospital, Sarada was worried about him and expressed relief that he was alright. She again expressed concern for him when he learned his father's fate and ran away. As Sasuke organized a rescue mission with Boruto and the other Kage, Sarada stands by to watch Boruto and the others to depart, and showed deep concern for him. However, she smiled when Boruto put on Sasuke's forehead protector and announced his decision to go save his father, and Boruto asks her to look after the village. At the end, Boruto, Sarada and Mitsuki are set on a mission to capture a wild panda terrorizing the village. Sarada was still a little angry at Boruto for cheating, and Boruto said he already apologized to her. Sarada then asked Boruto if he now wanted to be Hokage, and he replied that he still had no interest in being Hokage. He explained he will be her right-hand man, and he will protect Sarada when she becomes Hokage, which causes her to deeply blush. He also says he wants to be a ninja like Sasuke, and he will follow his own ninja way, and Sarada stares at him with amazement.
Sarada, what I really want is to become a shinobi like your dad.
After learning Mitsuki has left the village, Boruto is surprised and talks with Sarada about this by river. Boruto doesn't believe Mitsuki willingly betrayed them and tells Sarada to think about it, because he's their friend. But Sarada says as shinobi, they have to put their emotions aside and think rationally. Boruto leaves, but tells Sarada, as someone who wants to be Hokage, she of all people would have given Mitsuki the benefit of the doubt.
I thought that you, out of everybody, would give Mitsuki the benefit of the doubt until the end. Later.
Boruto attempts to secretly leave the village to find Mitsuki, but it's found. But Sarada, who suspected he would try to, Boruto tells her about receiving a message from Mitsuki that he may have left on his own will, but Boruto isn't sure. She warns him that leaving will be considered desertion and he will be branded a rogue ninja. Boruto doesn't care because he wants to trust and know more about Mitsuki, and Sarada decides to tag along, reminding him that she is a part of Team 7 and so he won't get in trouble. After getting intel from Orochimaru and Mitsuki may have gone to a Ryuuchi Cave, they head there. Team 10 tries to stop them from going any further but decides to help them. They arrive at Ryuuchi Cave and are tricked by the guardians of the place. Sarada and the others are knocked unconscious and Boruto has to pass 3 tests to be allowed to see the White Snake Sage. After he passes, he finds his friends, and the first person he goes to is Sarada and holds her as she wakes up. Kara Actuation Arc. Sarada goes visit Boruto at the hospital, but it turned out he had already been discharged. Boruto asks her if she came to visit him and says she does have a nice side, teasing her. Sarada blushes, embarrassed, and tells him of course she'd come visit him. Boruto was about to get hit by Deepa's cubes. Sarada doesn't think twice, shouts his name, runs until she's in front of him and uses herself as a shield, concentrating her chakra in both of her arms in order to receive the impact. While she's protecting him, she unlocks the second Tomoe. She also warned him that he wouldn't lose his arm if he did another compression Rasengan. After doing transfer chakra along with Mitsuki, they turned Boruto's compression Rasengan into a super compression Rasengan. Upon reaching meeting Akita, Sumire tells Sarada that Akita seems to have taken a liking to Boruto. Sarada dismisses it because Boruto is easily able to make friends. Samae then asks Sarada if it bothers her if girls like Boruto, in which Sarada responds by saying it doesn't. Samae then states that it bothers her, which surprises Sarada and makes her have a nervous look at the end. As Boruto attacks Ao using the Genin's chakra blade against him, Ao summons his mirror drones, which knocked out Konohamaru, who blocked the attack on Boruto. Sarada and Mitsuki moved Konohamaru to safety, while Boruto fended off Ao. As he seemingly defeated, Sarada tried to help, but Mitsuki pulled her back from getting hit by the drone's attacks. Boruto later subconsciously uses his Karma Seal to save Konohamaru from Kashin's flames and passes out. Sarada rushes to Boruto's aid and tries to protect him from Kashin, who praises Boruto for being able to use his new power for the first time. Sarada demands to know what happened to Boruto and is about to attack him before Mitsuki prevents her. Sarada in this scene lost completely her usual composure in battle. We've never seen her act like this when another teammate that isn't Boruto is hurt or in danger. Sarada then carries Boruto when he wakes up. He keeps saying he's okay, but she insists to carry him. Evidence. Although Sarada considers Boruto to be a troublemaker and Boruto considers her to be stuck up, the two still have a sense of respect for each other. Sarada was shown interested in Boruto's rebelliousness towards his father and his actions to gain attention. As stated in the novel, Boruto and Sarada watch over each other. Boruto and Sarada have been shown to show deep concern and care for each other. Although Boruto often scoffs at Sarada's dream of becoming Hokage, deep down he actually supports her dream and doesn't want to see her fail. Sarada defended Boruto against Sauske when Boruto thought Sauske was disappointed in his Rasengan training and showed excitement for Boruto when Sauske agreed to train him. Boruto and Sarada have a strong bond of trust. Boruto trusts Sarada's judgment while she has faith in his abilities. Boruto and Sarada blush in each other's presence. Upon realizing their dreams, Boruto promises to Sarada he will protect her no matter what when she becomes Hokage. Sarada admits to herself that what draws her to Boruto the most is his blue eyes. Sarada squeezes both hands when she worries about Boruto. Sarada admits she likes the change in Boruto's personality. They often worry about each other. Mitsuki emphasizes many times that they are a great duo. He also believes that they can be an ideal pair. Boruto has blushed at Sarada while she has also blushed at him over something said by one another.
息を潜めて膝を丸めて締め切った窓の外泣き出した空